Hello, and welcome to Long Island Weather Report. It is January 9th, 2025, and 2025, and we're starting off this year with so much wind. Unfortunately, it's getting a it'll decrease. It's starting to decrease a little bit tonight. You'll see that the winds aren't quite as bad as they were last night. We had gusts over 40 miles an hour on a lot of our reporting sites. Still out east, there's still a gust at this site here in Southold, northwest at 34, gusting to 45. So they're still seeing some pretty strong winds. Islip, northwest wind at 18, gusting to 24. But fortunately, we're not seeing the kind of winds that we saw earlier today. Earlier today, though, we still had a lot of pretty strong winds. Looking at some of these gusts here, see plenty of gusts. 37, 37. So yeah, maybe a little. Not quite. There's a 40-mile-an-hour wind gust right there. So still seeing some of those 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well today. And it was a little bit milder today. Maybe we got into the mid-30s today. It looks like 36 actually got to. So it didn't feel quite as cold as it had the past couple of days. The wind has definitely decreased from what it was before. And that's definitely very, very welcome. Looking at the satellite, we did have a lot of clouds, cloud deck around, particularly on Long Island, mid and high level cloud deck. Not so much over New Jersey. I think they had a mostly sunny day over there, but we definitely had some of this mid and high level cloud deck around on Long Island a little bit, rotating throughout the day. So you can hear, yeah, I still got the cold. Though at least I was able to get back outside again today. Yesterday I did not go out at all. But I'll just show you what. Just took a few pictures out there. Here's what it looked like at Mill Pond, and surprisingly, the lakes are not completely frozen over. Even though it's been cold, it hasn't really been that cold. It's not like we're in a deep freeze or anything, because the lakes, there's some ice on the lakes. There's some ice over here. I took these pictures at night, but to kind of show you the wind here, moving those cattails along, you can see that's definitely open water. And this was from the other night. This was Tuesday night. So that was in Rockville Center. You can see there was ice on that lake, but still not completely solid ice. So you can see the skies are now mostly clear across the area. The temperatures are around 30 degrees on most reporting sites. Still won't be any radiational cooling tonight. There'll still be too much wind for that. So the high temperatures today, looking at the map, we got into the mid-30s, 36 at Islip, mid-30s more or less on Long Island. A little cooler in the Central Park there. Central Park always reading a little cooler, 33. And then New Jersey probably saw temperatures probably, let's see what they got up to. 35, 34, so generally mid-30s pretty much everywhere, which is still a little bit below normal for the highs. And the lows, we got down into the low 20s, again, more or less, across the area, low 20s. I don't think there was any radiational cooling. I doubt it, no. We did get down to 18 at Miller Air Park, but that probably is not that's probably not from radiational cooling. So let's look at our climate statistics today at Islip. And the high was 36. It's 4 degrees below normal. The low of 23 is 2 degrees below normal. So 2 degrees below normal for the day. So below normal temperatures, but again, not a huge deviation from normal on the temperatures. It's mainly the wind that makes it feel cold. You'll still see that gale warning in effect and wind advisory, which is just about to be expiring. You can see, though, this site still, Stony Brook, still gusted to. They still had a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust today reported over there, and they're still gusting to 46. So still seeing windy conditions, but I think the worst of the wind is going to be behind us now. And we'll have lighter winds, though it's still going to be on the breezy side. And that is all because if we go to our weather map here, you'll see there is a pressure gradient here. There is that high pressure, strong. Look at the current one. Here's the current high. You see that high is now sitting over the center of that high, sitting over West Virginia, I guess, southern Ohio. But you still see the squeeze play with the isobars that we're dealing with. So we're still dealing with the wind because of that. Now if we go in the south to the CONUS view, you'll see that what we have. So here's where that high is, and then here's our next storm system here that will bring wintry weather through a lot of the south. And but for us, we're going to talk about this weekend, and you're going to a little bit, and you'll see that it's really not going to be a big event for us at all. Yeah, looking at the MODIS also shows you where the snow has fallen as well. By the way, you can see where it's a little white. That's where the snow is. Though a lot of it is melted. There's still a little bit of it in Jersey. And this is what's going on in Los Angeles right now. We have to talk about this because the state of emergency over there with these wildfires. Look at all the smoke. It looks like it's going right over Los Angeles. That is a huge plume of smoke right there. So these fires remain burning out of control. Most of them are not any containment at all. We can look at the South Pacific Southwest here satellite. And we should be able to, here, there you go. That's what it looks like right there. Look at that. Look at all the smoke that's coming from that. It's also drifting over Catalina. Just incredible devastation. We're talking about entire neighborhoods, entire towns. I mean, thousands of structures destroyed by what amounts to a firestorm, basically. And this is Pasadena. This is basically the northern part of Los Angeles that's been burning now for a couple of days. There's no relief in sight because the Santa Ana winds are going to be picking up again. And if we go look at some of the observations over there, you see the red flag warnings, and look at that. We've got high wind warnings already in effect for around that area, so that means these fires are going to continue to get worse again. Yeah, this is not good at all. See some of these wind gusts already being reported here. A 39-mile-an-hour report at Malibu, 39-mile-an-hour wind gust at Malibu Hills. And these are exactly where these fires are burning. Look at the dew point, 3 degrees. I don't even think our dew point's got that low, and even though we were in the Arctic here. But this is the same Arctic. Look at this, a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust on this mountain trunk trail here. So yeah, these are insanely low humidity levels too, 15%. Absolutely insane. Let's see if we can get an observation from LAX. And the winds aren't too bad over there, but it depends on where the winds get picked up and where the winds get channeled through. You can see that there's been some reduced visibility. Yeah, they were reporting a smoky haze around the city from the wildfires that are burning. But this is historic, and unfortunately, we're going to see these winds continue into tomorrow, and we're going to see more big plumes of wildfire smoke coming out of these areas here. And where's Catalina Island? If Catalina was reporting any. I don't know if they've got an actual airport observation there, though. Look at these dew points, 13, 5. See, a Santa Ana wind, what it is you have the cold, dry air on the other side of this mountain here, all right? And it's being funneled down, but what happens is it's already cold, dry air on the other side of the mountain, all right? The dew point's already, at Barstow Lake, it's already 7. But then you take this air, and you push it down the mountains, and it dries it out even more. So that's what makes the Santa Ana wind so dangerous. We still got these freeze warnings in effect for southern Arizona, where we got temperatures that are cold for that area for sure. We don't see temperatures that low at all there. Flagstaff hasn't been that cold, I don't think. But take a look at Flagstaff here. We can get Flagstaff to low. Let's see what Flagstaff's got. They get up to 34 today. The dew point is lower in Southern California than it is in Flagstaff. Dew point is 7. So, yeah, it's crazy, this weather that's going on. And you can see this is the stripe of winter storm warnings. This is where our next our winter storm is going to be. But as you can see, it's going to be tracking to the south of us. But you can see the dew points in our area. We never got dew points that low. Look at dew point 16 here. Dew points never really got that low in this air mass. Let's see, we had a couple of days where the dew points were below in the single digits, but yeah, it was mainly yesterday that we had the dew points in the single digits. I could see that. It was January the 8th and probably the 7th for a little bit too, but generally speaking, the dew points have not been that low. I mean, considering this is an Arctic air mass, so we're on the fringes of it, but I mean, they have lower dew points out in California, which is pretty nuts. And it's just it's a disaster zone, is what it is over there. And go to poweroutage.us. There's also a lot of power outages in California too. 240,000. There is an issue with some of these electric companies. They may be doing some public safety power shutoffs as well, but a lot of this is also damage due to the winds knocking down power lines. They have a situation there where they can do a public safety power shutoff, but the problem is in some areas where they've done that, then that also shuts down the water shuts down the power to the pumping stations, and they don't always have generators. So it's kind of a bad situation either way. It really is. So going to our weather, back to our weather prediction map here. We'll go to the winter weather map, and you'll see that's probabilities of snow. All right, so these are where your probability of snow is here. All right, so you can see where the probability of snow exceeding 4 inches in that area there where you see the red. QPF, I don't know if they give us an actual snowfall map or not, but this is the QPF for it. So you can see where this storm is taking shape. Unfortunately, though, no rain for California. And you'll see that you got that Santa Ana wind because you got a different high over there, 1041 high, which is even stronger than the high we have. That's pushing that wind. You see those tight isobars pushing that wind right down across Southern California. Now, as for us, the high pressure that we have on the East Coast moves toward us tomorrow. And this should lessen the winds a little bit. You still see those isobars bunched up, so we're still going to have wind. Then there's this low in the Gulf, so you can see where the snow is going to be. But this low really, it misses the piece of energy to the north, and so we'll get a little bit of light snow Saturday, probably Saturday morning. But again, it'll probably be a coating to an inch, if that. And again, more to the south, but I don't think it's going to be as substantial as the last one. And then this low kind of goes by to the south, and then we have improving weather for Sunday. Should be a nice day on Sunday. Hopefully a sunny day and not too windy. But as far as what's going on in California, you can see that Santa Ana wind setup just kind of continues. I mean, it gets a little bit better as we get toward later tomorrow. Maybe we'll look at some of this on the Ventus sky. So let's go look at, you can see, look at those tight isobars. My gosh, they're so tight. Basically, it's like you got this low here that's not moving. You got this high here, and it just gets squished because the high's getting closer, but the low's not moving. So it literally squishes those isobars in like that, and that's how you get that wind. Let's go to the HRRR. And we'll go and look at our dew points and wind flow here. We'll be looking at the 0Z run. So you can see we remain in the dry air. We still have low dew points, northwest winds, but you notice less barbs on those winds, those things. So that means less wind tomorrow. And then you can see it backs off on Saturday as that system passes by to the south. And then as it moves to the east, it's going to probably ramp the winds up again on Saturday night. And we'll have to see how strong they get, because we may be dealing with more strong winds Saturday night. I really hope not, but there is a possibility that we'll be dealing with some stronger winds, though it won't be quite as cold, so it won't feel quite as bad. For temperatures tonight, no radiational cooling, so temperatures generally getting down to the low to mid 20s probably. And then for tomorrow, we should make it well into the 30s, maybe even up to close to 40 tomorrow. So we have mid-30s today. Tomorrow, upper 30s to around 40, which is right around normal for this time of the year. And then tomorrow night, the temperatures probably won't drop back too much because we'll have advancing cloud cover. And then for Saturday, we'll have a lot of cloud cover, so the temperatures might wind up actually being a little cooler on Saturday. Maybe only around 34 or so for a high. Now, skies, we'll go to that. Soundings. And the issue with Saturday is we're going to have to watch out for some high-level clouds. Now, these charts actually look pretty good. You see how far apart those lines are. We haven't seen this most of the week, but the lower levels look great as far as that goes. But the upper levels, we could have to watch out for some upper-level moisture coming in. So let's take a look at precipitation and show you what this HRRR does as far as the snow for Saturday. You can see most of it's to the south. All right, so it's not really going to amount to very much. There's your low right there. And probably total on these totals, no, not total snowfall, probably will be, a coating on Long Island ranging to maybe an inch or two if you're down on the Jersey Shore, maybe a little more on southern Suffolk, but this is the general trend of it. You can see the higher amounts are going to be further south, all right? If I go to the eastern U.S. view, you can see where the higher amounts from the storm are going to be. It's still not going to be a huge snowstorm. Even the areas that have the winter storm warnings, probably 8-9 inches of snow. So it won't be a huge, heavy foot type of snow. Even the areas that are getting hit harder, like Missouri, like Kansas and Oklahoma, and not so much Kansas, Oklahoma, eastern Oklahoma, into Arkansas. So anyway, let's go back to our area and look at a few more models as far as the snowfall goes. It's probably a similar deal here. Yeah, I mean, they all look pretty similar here. Which is the GFS. Damn. Yeah. I mean, they all look pretty similar in this regard. I mean, so let's look at our skies on the NAM. I'll show you what happens tomorrow. So we'll start off sunny, but there will be high clouds increasing, probably more toward the afternoon, but still can't rule out some scattered jet chunk in there. And then Saturday, so when I talk, it causes me to cough more. I don't talk, I don't really cough that much, but got this all this cloud cover for Saturday, and then it clears out. And hopefully by Sunday we'll have another mostly sunny day with seasonable temperatures. So the GFS, and I'll just show you the temperatures for Sunday. To see, it won't be all that cold, so it'll be seasonable, upper 30s to around 40. So it won't be frigid well, it hasn't really been that frigid. It's just been windy, and that's what makes it feel. It's only been about 5 degrees below normal generally. But because of the wind, it's what's been making it feel tremendously worse. Here's the RGM, which we'll look at as well. Don't really have enough of that in for the whole run, but you see tomorrow, you'll see. Start off clear, but then that cirrus rolls in, though. I might be able to eke out maybe mostly sunny skies for at least part of the morning in Suffolk County before the clouds kind of come in. And then we'll be dealing with those clouds Saturday, and then Sunday we can hopefully clear them out. And then there might be more clouds coming in later in the afternoon again with the next system, because it's kind of a zonal flow at that point. So let's look at... All right, I think that covers everything. Let's look at the wind situation. So, all right, so wind gusts, not as bad tonight, and so you'll see the difference as we go into tomorrow. 9 o'clock, only gusting to 31. 2 o'clock, only gusting to 20. So that's not too bad. By tomorrow night, we're going to actually have light winds. Imagine that, a night that we're not going to have a howling wind. Well, it will definitely be calming down for tomorrow night. But then Saturday, it may be ramping back up again. But I don't think the gradient's going to be as tight. So I don't think we're going to be dealing with anything terrible Saturday night with the winds. It'll be breezy, but it certainly won't be. It won't be anything like what we've been dealing with the past 3 days. But let's now go and look at the situation in California. Just kind of wanted to go over to this and show you the Santa Ana winds here. And so this is what it looks like right now. This is a high resolution model, so it's kind of not really depicting things that well. It looks like it does get better tomorrow. It looks like there's more of an offshore wind. But the problem is we're still getting a lot of wind over in this area. You have a lot of mountains and hills, which affects the way the wind flows over there. It's totally different kind of place. We can look at the windy dot again. Look at this smoke flume. It's just nuts. Have you ever seen anything like that? Look at how far the smoke has gone out too. It's nuts. But anyway, let's go to windy.com, and I'm gonna look at it on this model too as well. There's a lot of hills, and you see how the city's kind of in a bowl, so but the wind goes around the city. So these areas that are being affected by the winds, which include Beverly Hills, Pacific Palisades, they're dealing with the stronger winds tonight. You can see in the red area, that's definitely a Santa Ana wind picking up again. Now, as we head to tomorrow, looks like it's still going, but it looks like it does get a little bit less tomorrow. It does ease a little bit. And as we get into the weekend, it picks right back up again, though. On Saturday, we're dealing with these Santa Ana winds again, blowing in offshore. So you really got to watch out for this. This is going to be a continued issue, and it's going to take a very long time for them to get these fires out in that area for sure. So it's really just incredible to see. This it really is, and just put things in perspective. This is L.A. The smoke is this is the city of L.A. and look at the smoke here. It's just incredible to see all that smoke. There's numerous wildfires going on in here, but it's almost like it's hard to even call them wildfires because when you look at the areas that have been burned, these are like cities that are burning. So it's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts, and I'll just show you just to show you what's going on here. I'm just going to do a search here. Los Angeles, just to show you here. No, they're not posting it. Searching Los Angeles. I spelt it wrong. This is what's going on right there. So this is what it looks like along the beach. Look at the sky. It's black with smoke. It's apocalyptic. It truly is apocalyptic, man. There's the skyline. It's the smoke. It's nuts. House surrounded by fire. I mean, you're talking about a whole... You're talking about whole neighborhoods destroyed. This is LA. It looks like a war zone. Of course, they're taking it out on Gavin Newsom. It's not his fault. It's climate change. But, you know, it's really a shame people politicizing this already. We know it's climate change, and we know it's only going to get worse. As we deal with more and more of, I mean, look at the destruction here. We're going to see more and more of our cities destroyed. Everything that we've come to know, and as our civilization starts crumbling around us, this is what we are going to be dealing with as we face this climate crisis, and it's going to get even worse. This is because they haven't had any rain in LA. They're in a major drought. So let's go to the drought monitor. That'll be the last thing. Well, actually, let's do that. I haven't showed this in a while. Let's go to the drought monitor. And you'll see they have changed it for us now. Much of the Long Island Pine Barrens, Suffolk County, just in an abnormally dry state. South Fork still in a moderate drought for Nassau. And we still have the severe drought in a little sliver of it around the extreme drought that still makes up most of the New Jersey Pine Barrens. So there's still an extreme drought there. In LA, California, they're also in a severe drought. D2 here, and you can see that that's the LA area right there in a D2 area. So they've hardly had any rain at all. Just to tell you how little rain they've had. Let's go to the Los Angeles, California. I don't know what happened there. Let's try this again. And you can see they got forecast areas of smoke and breezy and a red flag warning. That continues through tomorrow. So they got the smoke already in the forecast. You can see that. You can see there's that red flag warning that remains in effect and around with a high wind warning around it. They haven't had any rain there. So if we go look at the normal climate, actually we can just go to the latest text products here. We should have a climate report here. The local storm report, 59-mile-an-hour wind gust. Compared to what they went through the other day, they had 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts in certain areas, which was absolutely crazy. Speaking of that, yeah. Let's take a look at the highest wind gust reports from today in our area, too. I almost forgot to do that. Bayville, gusted to 52. Brooklyn College, gusted to 57. Bating Hollow in Suffolk County, gusted to 63. Stony Brook gusted to 60. Fair Harbor, Fire Island, 55 miles an hour. So still quite a windy day. But like I said, it's getting better. Let's go back to what we're talking about here and get the climate conditions here. The climate report for climate graphs. So we can just climate graphs here, right? Kind of just shows you how much rainfall that they're supposed to get. All right. So there's been no rain, I think, for this entire month. So this is the normal statistics for, but there hasn't been any rain at all this month, at all. Normal, they're supposed to get some rain. Well, normally, they should have seen about at least a half an inch. And let's go to last month here. Let's go to last month. I can find it. Yeah. Let's go 2024 and let's go look at December. I don't think did it rain at all? Nope. No rain at all. It didn't rain at all in December there. It didn't rain at all. Normally, they're supposed to see 2.48 inches of rain. That's what but they only got 0.02. I don't know where they got that 0.02 for. Oh, there's one day 0.02. So this kind of just shows you how dry it's been. No rain at all. Let's go to the November one. I'm thinking November is probably going to be the same deal again. Only 0.14 inches of rain. So they've been very, very dry. So it's not a good situation at all. It's not a good situation. It's also been, I think, pretty dry in Flagstaff as well. I don't think they've gotten much snow at all there this year. I don't think they've gotten much of anything there. You can look and see Flagstaff, but I think that they haven't seen much snow at all, which is very bad because their whole ecosystem kind of relies on that snowpack, and they're also dealing with wind chills as well. But they're not seeing any snowfall either, I don't think. They haven't seen anything yet. We can go to their thing as well. They may have to worry about wildfires too, because they haven't seen much in the way of snow either there. I'm just trying to get this information in here, and I know it's See, the annoying thing is the weather service is every freaking weather page is different. And so when it comes to finding the climate data, it's always in a different spot on every page. Which, so Flagstaff, precipitate, month to date, we've only got 0.01. Normal value is 0.65. That's supposed to be snowfall. Only a trace of snow, only 0.1 inches of snow. Normally they're supposed to see 6.2 by this time. All right. So this is the kind of thing that's going on. There's a drought out west, and it's really severe. A lot of places dealing with drought, a lot. And if they don't get that snowfall when the spring comes, there's going to be a really bad wildfire season. Because they need that snowpack in Flagstaff. If they don't get it, it's going to be a bad situation. And we'll be talking about similar kinds of destruction in Flagstaff. I hope not, because it's a beautiful, beautiful place, a lot of beautiful pines. But all it takes is the right conditions, and we're set with a really bad situation. Again, this is the firestorm that, again, is over Los Angeles, a disaster that is the worst fire ever in California. And no, we can't blame Gavin Newsom. We can't blame the president. We could blame ourselves for continuing to burn fossil fuels and not addressing the climate crisis that we are in. And things like this, they're only going to get worse. It's really, it's going to get a lot worse. And unfortunately, I worry that we're going to start seeing more chaos as more cities and towns get destroyed, and people have to find some place to live as the climate crisis ramps up. This is not normal what we're seeing. And yes, we've had La Niñas before, but we're dealing with climate change, which is changing the way everything works in the atmosphere. If you want to blame this on something, you blame it on climate change. You don't blame it on Gavin Newsom. I'm not crazy about him, but these fires are not his fault. These fires are because we are changing the climate. The climate has changed. The atmosphere has changed because of the added greenhouse gases in the air, and we have reached past that tipping point, and the amount of disasters are only going to exponentially increase every year. And we're going to look back at the last year saying, 5 years from now, we'll be looking back at 2025 saying what a great year it was, because it's going to get a whole lot worse every year. But if you don't want to hear it, you don't want to believe it, I think God is trying to tell us something. I think we had that thunderstorm on New Year's Eve. I think God was trying to tell us something. But again, most people, they don't really want to listen, especially in the North American continent. They're too self-absorbed to really care about how the planet is so changing so quickly around us. But anyway, have a good night. Thanks for watching.